Hi, everybody. You know what day today is. Hi, Dylan.
Good morning, Lee. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm not sure what's going on, but here we are.
Yep. Good to be here.
Everybody, it's Weed Wednesday. Do you notice the difference of the vibe?
Yeah.
Is the show floating like my hands?
Wow.
Feel it?
Interesting, man. I can feel it floating.
Where's the kitty? Wake up, kitty. Wow, kitty.
Speaking of floating, we have a new microphone stand here on this
Oh,
side.
yeah, that's
Thing
fun, right?
Works a lot better now.
Ever since I changed to this, I like it better, too.
I like it.
Can follow you wherever you want to go.
Yep.
I was going to talk more about music, but then I started thinking, man, I don't want to talk about music all the time. There's this one boxing story. I think I'm going to tell it tomorrow, though. It's such a grand story. It just has so many aspects to it.
Yeah.
It's just, you couldn't make up a story as crazy as this story. You're not going to believe it.
Cool. Can't wait.
Wouldn't it be? It would be so funny if we were telling the story and Lionel just showed up, because sometimes he just shows up after I don't see him for years, and he'll just show up, and
Wow. Yeah.
that would be so amazing if we're doing a podcast and Lionel shows up, but maybe he won't. I don't know. I was thinking there could be some way of like, people have a lot of qualifications of why they like music, you know? Mm-hmm. Here we go talking about music.
Right.
Like, everybody has their own criteria and their own qualifications. But then there seems to also be qualifications to be what kind of person a person is, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about their music, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Which I guess is, I don't know, not very musical. But I was trying to make a point, and since it's Weed Wednesday, points are escaping me left and right.
Yep, that's all right.
There you are. I need help finishing that sentence if anybody is out there. Yeah, so music is so weird like that. Yeah, so I was thinking, do we need a questionnaire so we can vet somebody before we listen to their song?
I see.
That would save you the time of maybe liking somebody's song, and then you find out they're not the kind of person you like, and you can say, oh, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
My mind is polluted on some level because I didn't like the person, even though I like the song. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it's kind of been an ongoing debate. People discuss if it separates the artist from the art. Is that better? Or
we could have a questionnaire. We vet people ahead of time.
Yeah.
You say, are your parents rich? That would be one of the questions on the vetting test, and the big red lights would start blinking if they were, you know. It'd be so funny. But that's sort of how it is.
Right.
In beautiful music land. Anyway, I like what I like. We all like what we like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody should just like what they like and just enjoy it. I don't want to ever talk about stuff I don't like.
Right.
You know, when I'm going through all the new releases and I go through the songs fast, you hear 5 seconds of a song, 6 seconds of a song,
yeah.
You know, just chick, 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 because you got to go fast to hear them all. And you know instantly if you love a song, but you also know instantly if you don't like a song.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to a whole song to know you don't like it, right?
Right, for sure.
And also you don't have to listen to a whole song to know you love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, music is amazing, man. And
That's
so
pretty cool.
Everybody has those feelings, and sometimes they have them in reverse from the person next to them. Like one thing rocks one person's world, and the next person likes something different.
Really fascinating how subjective it is. Yeah.
But I think the key element there is liking. People liking music and liking stuff. So I think if you don't like something, you should just move on and not talk about it, because talking about stuff you don't like is like, I don't know, it brings bad energy into the circle. Into the circle of consciousness.
Right.
It brings bad energy. It creates a weasel in my horoscope.
So what are some of your favorite new releases that you've listened to recently?
Recently, I've been bad. You know, while we were making the movie, I really slacked off. There was times where I went weeks without doing new releases.
Wow.
Recently, I did some. You wouldn't like who I liked. I found a bunch of new releases in hip hops. Most of the releases you see out there, it seems like, are hip hop, man.
Right.
They're prolific. You know what I like about hip hop? Everybody's fearless, and nobody cares if they're fake or not.
Yeah.
No one's hung up on are they fake or not. Of course we're fake. Fuck, let's go for it. They're fake and real and fake and everything all at once simultaneously.
Right.
It's all encompassing universe of rhythm and words, and just it's a glorious thing, you know. So
that's right. Yeah.
I'm listening. I think, fuck, I want to be the drummer in that band, or I want to be the drum machine in that band, or I want to be the kick drummer, whatever the fuck, man. I'll be the cymbal, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I love it. I hear this stuff, and so I find songs. I'd have to go over to my computer to tell you what songs. I grabbed a bunch of songs, like about 18 songs, about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And there was some good new releases from people. And some of the lyrics are completely horrible. Yeah, they just... I can't even read. I probably get a strike if I repeat them here, you know. Anyway, but something sonically like that. Do you sometimes like a song a lot, and then later you sort of get farther into the lyrics and you go, wait a minute, you know, but yet the song, you love the song, it just has a sonically it just captivates you, you know.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what happens a lot of times with me in hip hop. Sonically I'll be captivated, you know.
Yeah.
By it, and then maybe you know, and then I'll start paying attention to the words. I go, oh, wait a minute, what is this? I can't even repeat it. Anyway, it's funny, and it's over and over and over and over. It's so. Anyway, it's cool. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get moved. Some of the songs are so good, I can just listen to them over and over because they just sonically sound so good and rhythmically and just everything. They're just like, the musical landscape is cool, and it's in a way. And people say, oh, it all sounds the same, you know. So everything all sounds the same. Like in the 60s, everybody didn't all sound the same. Sort of everybody did.
Right.
All the guitar players, they're uniquely different. Yeah. You know what? You know who all sounded? Organ players. Organs all sounded pretty much the same. Everybody had a Hammond organ. And the organs all sounded the same to some extent.
Right.
Everybody played them a little different, but... Yeah.
Interesting.
I was going to talk about that today. I said that yesterday. Okay, organs. I know I've talked about the organ before.
Okay.
But really a Hammond organ was truly like driving a tractor in a field.
Okay, that's
great.
great.
Know what I mean? It was clunky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could count on it. It was heavy duty. It wasn't going to break down on you. And it weighed only 250 pounds. Imagine that, having an instrument that weighs 250 pounds. The guitar player, man, he's carrying his guitar in a little case, man, whips it out. Just fucking on fire. And the organ player is like, I'm serious guy here. I'm the serious organ player. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, it's sort of a mismatch with my personality. But guitar was also a mismatch. We talked about that yesterday.
That was great hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can go on and on about I love being the worst at anything. Yeah. I had a really successful restaurant. I knew nothing about restaurant business. I just got lucky, as usual. I have some kind of weird luck. And so I started this restaurant, and it became super successful. And all these people were just eating at it every second. Wow. And we only had one item on the menu. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to fucking boil water before I figured that out. You know, it was just an act of desperation.
Wow, that's amazing.
Anyway, and everybody embraced it, and we embraced everybody.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be very soulful food.
And that's, of course, killer shrimp you're referring to.
Yeah. But there is a dish called killer shrimp, and that's for 20 years. That's all we sold was that dish.
That's right. Yeah.
No, nothing else. You know.
Wow.
No salad. Stuff. No nothing. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, love the food there.
Act of desperation. Maybe humanity is an act of desperation. Just one giant act of desperation, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the driving force of everything. Back to the organ.
Yeah.
Driving a tractor. Yeah. And I know organs sound cool, and to this day I see guys at gigs and they got the B3 organ and the guys being Mr. Organ. Right. You know, there's a kind of vibe that Mr. Organ always has, you know.
Mr. Organ.
I was Mr. Organ. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Organ's funny. Oh, the second I got a synthesizer that was actually playable. Some of the first ones were more like me.
Oh yeah.
But once I got one that could actually play, I was done with the organ.
Oh really?
Yeah. Huh. And the first few synthesizers I had weren't that good, but to me, they were way more fun than the organ because of the potential of them. The thought, and now look at them, man. You can have all these zillions of different sounds in your keyboard, and it's pressure sensitive. So if you hit the keys harder,
yeah, that's right.
You get more a different sound. It's just like if you hit the piano harder, and so
a little more velocity, right?
Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I don't know what's up. Excuse me.
But yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless
wow. Waving my arms around. Where was I before I sneezed?
The synthesizer.
Oh, the synthesizer, yeah. They're so amazing now. They have all these sounds, and the sounds are so good, and you can blend them together. And, you can blend them together.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, back to the organ. The organ, like organ sounds go on and off. Each organ key is a switch.
Okay.
And when you press it down, it goes, meh. It doesn't have any variation. It just goes, meh. When you release it, it stops. And if you want it to have feeling, you have a foot pedal down below that your foot's on, and you go like this to make it seem like it's not just going, meh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But what it's really doing every second is going, meh. and so you have to you got to fake and around with it to get it to not be weird.
Yeah.
And so that's a real limiting factor in terms of playing expressively and being able to hit it and get something out of it,
Yeah.
Like a guitar player, bam, they hit the instrument and you get a little extra shit going on, right?
Yeah.
You crunch it and you get a crunch.
Oh yeah, completely different feel.
When you crunch, you get a crunch. So I always wanted a keyboard when you get a crunch, you get a crunch. You hit it hard. So now that's what we have in keyboards.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. It's like fuck, died and gone to heaven. Like you hit that keyboard, bam, and it like bams instantly, and you can feel it. So here's what I do to make my organ sound better. I don't use organ sounds very often, but I do have a few organ things I've meshed together. But I take a sound that has pressure sensitiveness, because in all these keyboards, when you play the organ, it doesn't have pressure sensitive, because in order to make it sound like a real organ,
they have to take that away.
It just goes on and off like a real organ. So that's what makes it sound so authentic, all these organ things in these keyboards.
Wow.
So I think, I was trying to get away from that. Give me a break.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now I blend it with another instrument that has pressure sensitive, but I keep the instrument that has the pressure sensitive just below the thresholds where you really can't hear it. Like when you hear the sound, all you really hear is the organ sound. If you listen really hard, you can hear the other instrument under there.
Okay.
But the other instrument has pressure sensitive, so you really don't hear it unless I hit it hard, and then it just makes like the organ got a like you crunked the organ like you never could before.
Yeah.
So anyway, the organ I have now in my little keyboard is way better than the B3. I'm sorry if somebody thinks the B3 is better. Okay, cool. Enjoy it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I understand vintage love of vintage shit,
Yeah. So with organs, do they need to be tuned? How would you tune an organ? Or
don't tune them.
You don't need to tune them. Okay.
That's the tone wheel.
Wow.
Just turn them on and they play.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And that big tone wheel grinds around. It's so physical and funny.
Wow.
Anyway, after 40 years, they've figured out how to simulate it on these really good keyboards.
Yeah.
They've diagnosed it completely. You can't tell the difference.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. People say, yes, you can. You go, oh yeah, you can tell if it's slow and clunky sounding, because the keyboards on a B3 are really slow and fat.
Okay.
And people like them because they're macho and fat, but they're slow as fuck. They're just they're so slow. They're so slow. They're so slow, man. Even 50 years ago, I was so bummed out at them, but they're slow.
Yeah,
that's the truth. And it's like sacrilege. It's like some stuff you're not allowed to put down. You're not allowed to put down Hammond organs, but I can do it because I was a Hammond organ player. And
that's right.
And I know all about Hammond organ. And they're clunky. They're like driving a tractor. The keyboard is clunky.
Yeah.
Clunky. I could never play like I play now. on these new keyboards. You could never do that with a Hammond organ.
Oh, wow.
But if you just hold chords, then the Hammond organ might be your groove. You're standing there, I'm the man,
Right,
holding the chords.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I never aspired to be a sonic blanket.
Right.
That's another thing. Yeah, like what's the job of an organ player? A lot of people say, I've had people really put me down and say I play too many notes, and I play I play too much. But I think, because I'm always trying to play like a guitar.
Yeah, that's right.
I just want to be a guitar player.
Yeah, you're shredding.
So anyway, but yeah, most people, their job as an organ player is to play chords and create a pad of sound,
Yeah.
or be a sonic blanket
Right.
and make it so you can't hear shit. Just a big kind of anyway. I never aspired to be a sonic blanket.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's horrible. I sound like I'm being negative about a Hammond organ.
No, this is an honest opinion on it. It's cool to hear this. Yeah, it's authentic.
And my new little organ, so good. Yeah. It's got drawbars and everything. It isn't like it's missing anything.
Yeah.
It's got the fucking greatest sounds in it, and you can mix it with two other sounds.
Wow.
So
nice.
you can wank on it, man. Yeah, my organ sounds good now.
And will this be the one that folks will get to see in the live musical performances on this channel? Your live videos?
Oh yeah, the one I play every day.
Yep.
Yeah, it just sounds like that when you turn it on.
Excellent.
It isn't like a special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got all the cameras and audio working over there. So
yeah, that's going to be fun.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, it'll be great.
Sorry, everybody, that we're not telling great stories today, but see, when you talk about music, it's just like talking about, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, talk about Hammond organ. Now all the Hammond organ players are going to hate me. That's sacrilege. The organ is soulful. When it moves, you can feel it in your body.
Well, I think of all people, you certainly have an authority on what sounds good, and when it comes to organs, it's safe to say, right?
There was lots of guys that had some great organ sounds. But there was one band, I really liked the sounds he used to get. Fuck, what was the name of that band? I'll remember it in a second. Yeah. Jesse Cullen Young, I don't know if it's his keyboard player. I always like the sounds his keyboard player got.
Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think of that band as a keyboard band, but I really liked the kind of sounds he used. I liked his stuff. I don't even know his name or anything. But anyway, somebody out there knows.
Cool. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you are, Hammond organs. They're so heavy, man. Anybody who's owned a Hammond organ can tell you horror stories about pushing them up the stairs.
Oh, wow.
To take a Hammond organ up a flight of stairs.
Jeez, that sounds brutal.
It's beyond anything you can imagine, man. It really truly is.
You have one guy on each side? Is that how it works?
At
least, yeah.
More like four guys.
Wow, yeah.
Unless they're big monsters.
Yeah.
But even that, man, anyway, it's a ball-busting thing. And my organ now, I can put it under one arm,
Yeah, that's great.
It's a tiny little thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Technology.
Yeah, I'll play it in the morning. You guys can tell me how wanked out it sounds.
That's great. Yeah,
I just enjoy playing,
Yeah.
Like I'm not all hung up on having the coolest shit. I just want it to sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It makes sense. You can make anything, sound good.
Yeah. We can make anything sound good.
Wasn't it Coltrane who said you can make a shoestring sound good if you're sincere?
I believe he's right.
Yeah.
Man, I've heard that. I've heard guys play that just could barely play, and they were magic. Every time they hit the guitar, it was magic. And I go, how's this possible? This guy can barely play. That's what made me think I could be a guitar player, because I saw a few people like that I knew.
Right.
That weren't really good players, but when they played, it was fucking magic, And I thought, whoa.
Yeah.
And I thought, I could be a guitar player.
Right.
That's why I didn't care if I knew how to tune it or anything. Just give me the guitar. I'll do it. Anyway. Skippy Spence, who played in the airplane, the Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah,
and he was a drummer, but he turned into a guitar player, and he was a guitar player in Moby Grape.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
Jumped around and sang shit.
Okay.
And he was a magical character.
Wow.
He could just hit the guitar. He wasn't good, but he could hit the guitar. Even if, no matter how he hit it, it was magical. I was really perplexed by that because I watched it up close, and personal.
Right, right.
Like we would just sit, and and I just go, fuck. This guy, he was just vibrating energy. He had you could just feel it. His whole body was like,
wow.
Like he was vibrating at a higher frequency. And it didn't matter how he hit the guitar. Something about it was very likable. And I was really, really amazed. And that really stuck with me in terms of realizing, fuck, anything is possible if your energy's at the right level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you're vibrating at the right frequency, fuck.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. So, thank you, Skippy.
Yeah.
I love Skippy. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off the podcast.
Cool. Yeah, great. No, I think we managed to turn this into something fun today, for sure.
Yeah. We had no idea what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Hammond organ to take us down death row. Welcome to death row.
Right.
Hammond Organville. Where did all the organs go to die? Oh, there's a guy up there by, where's the artichokes from? Where Castroville, up in that area.
Okay.
Or Salinas, somewhere. Anyway, there's a guy who lives up there. I've met him before. Or one of those towns up there. And he has a fucking warehouse barn full of Hammond organs, B3s, Had the hugest collection. He was just, before anybody was thinking about them being cool, all these zillions of years, he's just buying one after another. He's got a whole fucking thing full of Hammond organs,
wow.
I think.
Pretty
wow. Cool. It's like collecting old cars or something. Anyway, but that's cool.
Right.
But he got them early. And so, but I think people collect shit.
Yeah. Do you happen to remember what kind of guitars Skippy used? Was he like a Fender guy? Or
no, when I saw him doing that, he was playing acoustic guitar.
Oh,
Those times where he really blew my mind.
Oh, yeah,
He
gotcha.
wasn't an acoustic guitar.
Oh,
it was
wow.
a big, full-bodied guitar.
Nice.
But he just had he could have been any guitar.
Yeah.
But he blew I saw him many times be amazing on regular electric guitar.
Yeah.
But it was different, because that has amps. But just him in a room with the acoustic guitar, he was vibrating at a higher frequency. I haven't seen many people in my life that really their frequency was so much higher, just like you could just feel it. I was surprised his feet were on the ground.
Right.
And truly, man, he was like.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think anybody that knew Skippy would say that as well.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to talk to some people that knew him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get out of here, man. I'm redunding.
Redunding. That's a new word.
I'm redunding. We invent new words every week on this show. Redunding, salacious.
Yeah, salacious.
I was watching the salacious over the weekend. All these people were talking salacious.
Like that.
Welcome to Salacious. That's a nice name for a podcast. Somebody probably already took it. We've said it enough times. It's probably already a Salacious podcast. Don't worry. I don't aspire to be Salacious. I am Salacious. Anyway, Dylan, here we are again.
Yeah, good to see you, Lee. Great show today.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to start talking about movies. I was watching stuff today about focal length and lens selection of these great cinematographers.
Yeah.
And I was going, fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, a lot to learn about that.
Yeah, I love that shit.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway. Okay, everybody. Oh, 3,
Oh, yeah.
2, 1, poof.
All right.